I've been waiting for you, Link. Link, the hero of time. You have overcome many hardships and awakened 6 sages. And now you have a final challenge, a showdown with Ganondorf, the king of evil. Before that, I have things I want to tell only to you. Please listen. Another unknown legend of the Triforce passed down by the Shadow Folk, the Sheikah. If you would seek the Sacred Triangle, listen well. The resting place of the Sacred Triangle, the Sacred Realm, is a mirror that reflects what is in the heart. The heart of the one who enters it. If an evil heart, the realm will become full of evil. If pure, the realm will become a paradise. The Triforce, the Sacred Triangle. It is a balance that weighs the 3 forces: power, wisdom, and courage. If the heart of the one who holds the Sacred Triangle has all 3 forces in balance, that one will gain the true force to govern all. But if that one's heart is not in balance, the Triforce will separate into 3 parts: power, wisdom, and courage. Only one part will remain with the one who touched the Triforce, the part representing the force that the one most believes in. If that one seeks the true force, that one must acquire the 2 lost parts. Those 2 parts will be held within others chosen by destiny who will bear the Triforce mark on the backs of their hands. 7 years ago, Ganondorf, the King of Thieves, used the door you opened in the Temple of Time and entered the Sacred Realm. But when he laid his hands on the Triforce, the legend came true. The Triforce separated into 3 parts. Only the Triforce of Power remained in Ganondorf's hand. The strength of the Triforce of Power enabled him to become a mighty evil king, but his dark ambitions were not satisfied. To gain complete mastery of the world, Ganondorf started looking for those chosen by destiny to hold the 2 other Triforce parts. The one who holds the Triforce of Courage is you, Link. And the other, who holds the Triforce of Wisdom, is the 7th Sage, who is destined to be the leader of them all. It is I, the Princess of Hyrule, Zelda. I apologize for meeting you in disguise, but it was necessary to hide from the King of Evil. Please forgive me. On that day, 7 years ago, Ganondorf attacked Hyrule Castle. I saw you as I was escaping from the castle with my attendant, Impa. I thought I should entrust the Ocarina to you. I thought that would be our best chance. As long as you had the Ocarina in your possession, I thought Ganondorf could never enter the Sacred Realm. But something I could never expect happened. After you opened the Door of Time, the Master Sword sealed you away in the Sacred Realm. Your spirit remained in the Sacred Realm, and then the Triforce fell into Ganondorf's hands. He went on to invade the Sacred Realm. Ganondorf had become the evil king, and the Sacred Realm became a world of evil. All of this is an unfortunate coincidence. I passed myself off as a Sheikah and hoped that you would return. I waited for 7 years. And now, you are back! The Dark Age ruled by Ganondorf, the evil king, will end. The 6 sages will open the sealed door and lure Ganondorf back into the Sacred Realm. I will then seal the door to the Sacred Realm from this world. Thus, Ganondorf the Evil King will vanish from Hyrule. Link, in order to do this, I need your courage again. Please protect me while I do my part. And here is a weapon that can penetrate the Evil King's defenses. The power given to the Chosen Ones. The Sacred Light Arrow. So you just had this the entire time, you know, you couldn't have given this to me, I don't know, maybe earlier on, like after I had beaten the Forest Temple. Would have saved us a lot of time, Zelda, not gonna lie. But with that, we got ourselves the Light Arrow. The Light of Justice will smite evil. Oh hey, it's convenient plot. That rumbling, it can't be. Oh no, she turned into 50 rupees. Princess Zelda, you foolish traitor. I commend you for avoiding my pursuit for 7 long years. But you let your guard down. I knew you would appear if I let this kid wander around. My only mistake was to slightly underestimate the power of this kid. No, it was not the kid's power I misjudged. It was the power of the Triforce of Courage. But with the Triforce of Wisdom that Zelda has, when I obtain these two, then I will become the true ruler of the world. If you want to rescue Zelda, come to my castle. Oh, it's on now, Ganondorf. I will come to your castle, but not just yet. There's a few things that we need to take care of. Now, I didn't really want to do this cutscene just yet, but I saved and quit after we completed the last temple in the last video, and since obviously that means we collected all the medallions, and obviously when you reload the game, you spawn in the Temple of Time as Adult Link, it automatically triggered that cutscene. There was really nothing I could do about that besides, like, you know, go back and replay through the entire Spirit Temple from my previous save file, which I really didn't want to do. So, not a huge deal. It just means, like, we're not going directly to Ganon's castle after watching that cutscene. We're going to finish up a few minor things first. To start, we're actually going to call Epona and go back to Gerudo's fortress because there's something called the Gerudo Training Ground that I want to take on. It's sort of like an optional mini dungeon. You really don't need to do this unless you're going for 100% completion. You do get a new item, but it is in no way required to complete the game whatsoever. Anyways, though, to save some time, I'll meet you guys back at Gerudo's fortress. Okay, so here we are back in Gerudo's fortress, and the lady that we need to talk to is right over here. So, let's see what she has to say. This is the Gerudo Training Ground. Gerudo token verified. 1 try for 10 rupees. Alright, let's give it a shot then. Alright, I'll take your 10 rupees. Give it your best shot. I will. So she's gonna open the gate, and now we can go inside. Honestly, 10 rupees is a pretty good price, considering at this point, like, rupees are almost entirely useless. But, yeah, so the Gerudo Training Ground is a little bit different in Master Quest. In fact, I think it's actually a tad easier and faster to go through, although there is one minor inconvenience towards the end. To start things off, though, we'll just grab these 2 free chests and get some items, and then we're gonna take out our bow, hit this eye switch right up here. That's going to unlock the center door, I believe. And then we're going to stand right here, grab Din's Fire, and light both of these torches, which I believe unlocks the doors to our left and our right, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe just the one to our right. I'm not really too sure. Anyways, we are going to go off to the right. And that's pretty much how we're going to start this area. If you can overcome the trials in the chambers ahead, then and only then, you will be qualified to hold our secret treasure. Now, I think technically going to the right is doing this in reverse order, but, it actually makes sense to do it this way. So, each room has like a specific trial. This one is just, kill this iron knuckle in less than a minute, which really is not too hard whatsoever. If you do want to start out by going down the left path, you can, although at some point I believe you will reach a dead end, whereas if you go down the right path, you can pretty much go completely around the entire training grounds, and you'll end up back at the beginning with pretty much everything you'll need to complete this. So that's kind of why I recommend going through this way, although no matter what, you probably will have to go through this entire thing twice in order to pick up, like, everything, since once you get the keys that we're trying to get, you still need to, like, walk around again to actually pick up the treasure afterwards. Alright, so in this room, all we have to do is collect the silver rupees, which is pretty easy. I believe in normal Ocarina of Time, like, this room had boulders that were falling down from either the left or the right side, so those are completely gone on Master Quest, which, actually make this room just a little bit easier. Like I said, though, like, the entire training ground just feels a lot quicker on Master Quest than it did on normal Ocarina of Time. Not really sure why that is. Alright, so if I'm not mistaken, there was another rupee we can grab over... No, I overjumped it! Dang it! Oh, well, not a huge deal. They give you more than enough time to do, like, any of these trials, so I'm not really too worried about, like, any of the time constraints whatsoever. It's just, more about remembering where and how to do everything properly, because sometimes I can sort of get confused at what exactly I'm doing, but I think that's the last one. Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. Now all we gotta do is, get out of here. So, also in Master Quest, there's only like 3 small keys that we actually need to collect. I think there's only 3 small keys in this entire area as well. Whereas in, normal Ocarina of Time, I think at the bare minimum, you needed something like 7 keys, but there were 8 in total that you could get. So, yeah, obviously way less keys means that this place is just a little bit easier. This room can be a little bit difficult, though, just because there are 2 Stalfos, and fighting Stalfos, as you guys are aware, isn't really quick. Like, a majority of the fight is just you waiting for them to attack, that way you can actually hit them. There's also a couple of Skulltulas in here, but those guys are really nothing to worry about as long as you don't get close to them. I should mention that that block towards the north section of the room, you can push that and it does lead to another room, but it's entirely useless to go in there. Like, if you go in there and complete the other room, all you get is 50 rupees, so I'm not gonna bother going in there. There are actually a couple of useless rooms in the Master Quest version that I won't be showing off just because it's a waste of time and there's actually no point at all to completing them. Alright, so since we actually did kill everybody, let's open up this chest and get ourselves some more arrows. Hooray! That's really not the important thing, though. What is important is this blue fire. So, let's grab one of our empty bottles really quick, scoop some of that up, and we're actually going to use it to go out a secret exit of this room. So over here, yeah, Navi flies and turns green. So let's play the Song of Time, that way we can summon a time block. There is like a invisible pathway you can go down that's sort of blocked off by a fake wall. So I would take out my Lens of Truth and show you guys, but it's literally right there and I don't have it equipped already, so not gonna bother like going into my menus just to pull it out for 2 seconds of use. Alright, so let's melt down this red ice and head into our next trial. So this is the room we will be coming back to after we sort of complete the trial. Just keep that in mind. For now, though, there is something we can do here. Let's grab our bow and shoot these eyeballs. Blind the eyes. Yeah. I kind of already explained that. So there are 4 statues. Shoot an arrow into each of the eyes. That's really all you want to do right now. No, come on. There we go. For some reason, like, I am just so bad at aiming whenever I'm on, like, a moving target. I actually turned off gyro controls, too. Oh my gosh, my potato aim. Holy crap. Alright, let's try this again. But yeah, I did turn off gyro aiming, like, back when I did the, Gerudo, like, riding on the back of Epona side quest to get the biggest quiver. I turned it off because, gyro aiming was actually messing me up during that minigame. I just forgot to turn it back on, because I actually do quite enjoy the gyro aiming in the, remakes for both Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3D. Anyways, though, that chest that spawned isn't really that important. So before we go and pick that up, let's head up here because, yeah, there is a hidden crystal switch inside these rings of fire. So let's just hit this real quick. And that's going to unlock the door on the upper layer. Just remember that for later on. Now that we've done that, though, and this room is, like, entirely completed, let's hookshot back to this chest. And you know what? Might as well open it while we're here and get more bomb shoes, which is kind of weird since I don't think there is any place inside the Gerudo training ground where we actually need bomb shoes, so it's weird that they sort of give them to us. Alright, so here's another room where all we have to do is kill the enemies in a limited amount of time. Nothing too special here. I'm gonna get rid of these fire slugs first, then I'll deal with the iron knuckle. Alright, come on, Link, you gotta actually aim the right way. There you go. Alright, 45 seconds to take on this iron knuckle. That should be no problem whatsoever. These guys are actually pretty easy, especially when you use the big Goron sword. So maybe like 1 or 2 more hits, and there we go. Nice. Alright, so we're not done just yet in this room. Obviously, yeah, this chest will spawn, but that's not the important one. So let's step on this switch, and now that it's sort of deactivated the fire, let's shoot that Gerudo symbol right up there, and bam, another chest appears, and this one actually contains our first small key. So yeah, you definitely don't want to miss that one. Anyways, man, I really don't like this room. First things first, let's pound in this rusty switch because that'll cause some hookshot targets to appear. But, yeah, like the main puzzle of this room is collecting the silver rupees, and sadly, they're sort of engulfed in those flames. So what you want to do to deactivate the flames is take out your fire arrows. I'm also going to need my hover boots real quick. Those are the iron boots. Let me grab the hover boots. There we go. And, yeah, shoot the torch across the way. That will actually deactivate, all the torches for a limited amount of time. So let's try and do this quick. I might actually... Oh, no, that was a little bit weird. I might actually be able to get all of these in one go if I'm quick enough about it, but it is a little bit risky. However, I think even if we do mess this up... oh, no, that wasn't good. I think it does save our progress, though, if I'm not mistaken. Does it? Oh, no, it doesn't. Ah, crap. Alright, I'll do this again and I'll see you guys in a second. And there we go, final rupee acquired, fantastic. Yeah, I guess it only saves it like if you collect all of them, so my bad guys, my bad, I was playing a little recklessly. Alright, anyways, let's hookshot right over here since we unlocked this door by collecting all the silver rupees, and this is where we'll find our next key. So yeah, collect all the underwater gems, basically more collecting of silver rupees. Gonna need our blue tunic and our iron boots for this. Pretty much like the Gerudo training ground has 2 types of puzzles as far as I can tell. It's like collect silver rupees or defeat all the enemies or some combination of the 2. So it's really not hard, it's just kind of tedious, more or less. Alright, let's grab these hearts, and now we gotta sink down and collect these gems. So these ones aren't actually too hard to get. There are a couple of enemies down here that you may want to watch out for. There's a bunch of like hookshot targets on the wall too that you can use to maybe collect the rupees a little bit easier. Although for myself personally, I find that they're not as easy as just like standing right underneath them and floating up into them like that. Like sometimes you can accidentally swim or get swept up in a current, but it's pretty easy to grab them. And whoa, that was weird. Like, why did my hookshot just go off in that weird direction? I guess I already grabbed all the ones in like the middle of the area, so I guess we're good, right? Yeah, we are. Wow, that was weird. Oh, only 3 silver rupees. I thought there were way more that we needed to collect down here. Huh. That's kind of odd. Hey, I'm not complaining though. We got them all, so let's swim back up here and open up this chest because guess what? It is our second small key. Fantastic. Alright, let me swap back to the red tunic and put back on my hover boots because I think I actually need them back in this room. Not too sure. Oh wait, no, never mind. I can just hookshot right over to this thing. So we are good. We're actually almost done with the entire Gerudo training ground. And yeah, that message appeared over here because I sort of like did it backwards. Alright, so again, defeat all the enemies in a limited amount of time, and I believe this is actually where we get our last small key, if I'm not mistaken. Also, this room is really, really easy. Just a bunch of, like, Dinalphos, Dodongos, Lizalfos, stuff like that. Really not too hard. Do not forget about this statue over here, because you need to kill him, otherwise the timer will continue to count down. And please, there we go, jeez. That should be the last guy, I think. Or maybe not. That's weird. Where is the last enemy? There it is. Alright, so it still hadn't spawned yet. I thought it already did. My bad. Alright, that should be the last enemy then. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Now, let's just open up this chest and get ourselves our third small key, I think. There we go. Congratulations. We're essentially done with the Gerudo training ground. Now the rest is just the process of acquiring the item from this area, which shouldn't take us too long. So let's head into this center area. And to start things off, we're going to go right. If you desire to acquire our hidden treasure, you must strive to obtain the keys hidden in each chamber. We already did that. We are good to go. I'm pretty sure in like normal Ocarina of Time, all of these doors required a small key, which is why you needed like something like 7 or 8 just to get through here, whereas only 3 of them require small keys in this version, which is kind of nice. Also, all the chests that I'm skipping, they just contain like certain amounts of rupees, so yeah, really no point collecting them since I already have a full wallet. Alright, just one more door and we'll be right at the end. So, here we are, there's a box in the center. Let's smash it down, hit that switch at the same time, and guess what? It causes a big chest to appear. Now, you might not know where that is, but, remember that, like, door on the second floor of that room with the carousel of fire that I was talking about? Yeah, that's where that chest actually spawned, so we need to make our way back there. And I believe the fastest way to do that is by just pretty much going through the entire training ground again until we get to that spot. There is a shortcut from, like, the room with the 5 silver rupees surrounded by flames to this room, but the problem is we actually can't go, like, backwards through the training ground from that room, so really our only option is to go back through the entire training grounds until we get to that room, but, not a huge deal since, yeah, we completed all the trials, which means they're all done. So really, we're just going from room to room until we get to where we need to be. You know, now that I think about it, you might actually be able to skip this if you use Pharaoh's Wind. I know technically it's only supposed to work inside of dungeons, but, I'd be willing to bet that the game does count this area as a dungeon, like, I don't know that it does. Someone in the comments will definitely have to tell me. But, I'm gonna take a wild guess and just assume that Pharaoh's Wind works in this area. Anyways, it's not really much use to us anymore since we're basically there already. So, let's head through here and ta-da! Back to where we need to be. So, yes, right through this upper door is the prize that we've been waiting for. So, let's open up this large chest. And we're gonna get ourselves a pretty cool item. It is the ice arrows. Now, here's the thing about the ice arrows. They're a pretty cool item, right? They allow you to freeze enemies. Like, seems super cool. But they have literally no use in this game whatsoever. There's no story significance. They give them to you very, very late into the game. And there is never, like, one required use of them in the entire game. So, yes, the ice arrows are entirely useless in Ocarina of Time, but they're super useful in Majora's Mask. And, I actually made a top 5, like, useless items in Zelda video recently. And a lot of people asked me why I didn't put the ice arrows on that list. And the reason is, I didn't want to, like, specify items on a per-game basis. And, since, like, the ice arrows are literally the exact same item in Majora's Mask and in Ocarina of Time, because they're so useful in Majora's Mask, I decided not to include them on that list. Anyways, that being said, we are done with the Gerudo training grounds, so what do you say we head back to the Temple of Time? There's a few more things that we need to do, but we're just about ready to end off this game. I'm getting pretty excited. Hopefully you guys are too. But you know what? I think this is actually a good place to end off the video. So if you guys enjoyed this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. But once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.